Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right, and welcome to another episode, and this is part of our Mastermind series that we're doing. We decided to do an episode on each of the masterminds, and we're doing 6 total.
Yep.
This is number 5. This is number 5.
Yep.
This is number 5. So first of all, got the shirt on?
Yeah. Happy birthday month.
It's birthday
Flip.
month. It's birthday month, so every day is Fun Shirt July.
Fun Shirt Flippy.
There you go, Fun Shirt Flippy. So again, welcome to the Mastermind series. And this one, this mastermind is called Wealth Gym.
Yes.
And I was just like, I'm not going to work out again.
We're working on our money.
We are.
Not our bodies.
Yeah, we're making our money work out.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this one is owned by Ariane and Chris Lemire, and it's the most recent mastermind that we joined. So again, we're doing this series because on our journey of freedom through passive income, where we've gotten today, it was very much impacted by the groups we started joining, starting with 7-figure flipping all the way through to now Wealth Gym being our most recent mastermind that we've joined. And it's been so impactful on our journey that we thought, hey, active and passive investors alike might just want to hear the impact these groups have had on our journey so that you ultimately could say, hey, that's just really cool. It was nice to kind of hear the groups that you're surrounding yourself with, what you're learning, or some active investors might actually want to get involved in some of these. With Wealth Gym, it actually launched while we were part of about 7 masterminds. And at that point in time, I was like, I want to join this because money is important to us. Right. And surrounding ourselves with people who understand the game of money was always something on my list to do. But I always also wanted to have more of it so that I got use out of it. So I was like, okay, I'm not still just building one business at a time and we're just scraping by, just making sure that, hey, we can eat, we can pay our housing bills, but everything's going into the business. That was our lives for so long that it took us a while to get to the point where we wanted to be a part of people who are in the money game and know what they're doing in the money game. And so we are at that point, and it was twofold. Some of our other masterminds are starting to slow down, or we've gotten enough value out of them. We don't feel like we have to be on every single phone call or every single event. And it allowed us to go, hey, it's time to go ahead and join Ariane and Chris's Wealth Gym mastermind. And so we just recently joined, I want to say it was a month ago, probably.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I think for me, the biggest value has been their financial calculator. We have been running our finances on a Google sheet and are calculating our net worth on a Google sheet. Everything is on a Google, and it still lives there. But we also put it into their calculator, and their calculator is so cool because it automatically spits out different details about it. So after you do your homework, so you join the group and you do your homework of putting all of your financials into this calculator, then Ariane jumps on a call with you and she looks at everything and kind of talks you through. And they had videos, I had to watch all the videos to understand what I was inputting. So I could start interpreting the data myself before we got on the call with Ariane, but she just put it at a whole new level because she's been doing this for so long, right? And so she went through it, said, hey, this is where you're at. You've already achieved this. You've already achieved this. What's your next goal? And so we talked about our next goal, and she was like, okay, how would you do that? Well, we could do this. And then she just started in her brain that we don't have. She was able to kind of say, this is how you can get there. And this is the type of money that you would need to do. This is the type of percentage ownership you would need to have. Here's what I think your goals should be over the course of the next month, which is probably going to turn into 2 and 3 month goals because of our move to Florida has just screwed everything up.
We're just getting it out of the way.
But I think that was the most impactful, and maybe it's the most impactful right now because we are only a month into this, into this mastermind. So it was a very quick impact of let me see where you're at, let me see where you're going, let me set some goals for you so that you can start going down that path. They also have accountability groups, which we're not in because again, that's a level that I can't commit to right now. We just don't have the time. But
it's something that they have as part of this mastermind.
They also have a Facebook group, so that I participate in all the time. Every time I have a question, I'm in there, and if it's private, I ask in the Slack channel. They have a Slack channel because it is your finances, right? So sometimes the stuff that you're asking is private in nature.
Right.
So you can ask in the Slack channel, and it's just, Ariane or Chris or whoever it is, your private messaging, and you get that answer. Or if it's something that would benefit the entire group, then you throw it in the Facebook group and you allow, Ariane to respond, or Chris, or anybody in the group that might have some input or share. So I think it's just been really, really great. Only a month in, we already made it part of this mastermind series, which is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
But we have trusted Ariane and Chris for a long time. They were our partners on the very first 56 unit. We met them in 7-figure flipping.
Yeah.
So it's the reason why at the end of 7-figure flipping, that mastermind podcast, we said it was because of this group we actually got into multifamily, because we had the faith to do it, because we knew Ariane and Chris, and we said, hey, if we get into this, will you partner with us and make sure we don't screw it up,
Right.
And so they did, and now we partnered with them on another 48 unit. We helped raise money for their 129 unit, so we're co-GPs on that one. It's just been a really, really incredible journey.
Yeah.
That I'm very, very excited about. What do you have? I know.
Well, it's interesting because you talked about the game of money.
Yes.
Right. And so, I just, the evolution of my game of money, 15, 20 years ago, my game of money was money in, money out. And sometimes money out was out before money in,
Right.
But it was simple, money in, money out, and then, just about a year ago, I'm like, I'm starting to get this now. This is, we got this. We're figuring this out. We've got these companies, and we're doing this, and we're doing the right tax strategies, and we're doing multifamily with depreciation and tax savings, and and then I told about yesterday we talked about the Power Room, and they brought in Tim Tebow. It was the Tebow event that all of a sudden it was a groundbreaking 45 minutes, it was before Tebow, it wasn't even Tim Tebow, but of a presentation where I just went, I know nothing about the game of money. I thought we were doing good. I thought we were like, boom, right here at the top. We're not even in the same ballpark.
That's true.
That 45 minutes of that presentation, I just went, whoa.
Right. Yeah.
Who? Where? What? How do? What? I was.
Yes.
And then same thing with Chris and Ariane. You sit in their class, their talks, and just when she got on the phone or on the Zoom with us, and she was talking to us, and just how it just flows.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's easy. You just need blah 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 blah. I'm like, how do you know that? How do you learn? There's nobody teaches that. You can do a YouTube search all you want. You're not going to find this stuff. Anyway,
at least not in the custom way that it. That
there's going to be people that are talking about things that are related to what they're doing, but nothing that.
It's going to say, here's the situation you're in.
How to put it together,
here's how you do. We're going to use this, this, and this. And you could have learned about this, this, and this, these 3 things, because I know some of you are listening, not watching.
Right.
So you've got bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3, and you can find the information online about those 3 buckets, but you don't know how they work together.
Yeah.
They certainly you don't know how they work together and apply to your situation. And some of those buckets you wouldn't even know to search for.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and buckets is the wrong word, but you guys get the idea. That's the value.
Strategies
that's really the value that I see that we found through Andrew Coral. We went to his one-day session. That's what kind of kicked it off. And then I think I asked, and it's probably that's probably what. Yes, I think that's what happened. That's it. Like, we're in so many masterminds, we're like, oh, we can't do anymore. But the Andrew Coral financial session kind of went, we need to know this. We desperately we need to get more educated in this particular area of our lives, especially now that we stopped, dumping everything into the business. Like, the business is doing okay, so that we can actually start building our own personal wealth instead of putting it all back. And that's when we had a call with Chris and Ariane about the session we had with Andrew, and said, hey, here's all the things that he shared. What are you thinking? Because there are partners in our apartment. So we're like, what do you think? Is this the right way to go? And we did some feedback back and forth. And after that, it was like, hey, we should just join there. Like, they know about this stuff already.
Yeah, they're hip to it.
Yes, this is a very good strategic thing to do to be able to just be closer to them and be able to ask more questions and things like that. So it's really cool. They do weekly calls. They've got the Facebook group. They've got that Slack. They do events. We haven't been to an event yet. We're still, again, new, but we love and trust them enough that they are part of this series.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in this type of mastermind, then we're going to put a link in the comments. Go ahead and hit that link, and you can join their group and just be a part of their community. They're really amazing people, and we're appreciative. We always talk about cost at the end. So I believe that we paid around $11,800 for their accelerator program, which is what we were just talking about.
Right.
We want custom interaction, right? We don't want to be a part of a mastermind group that's general information. We really want to make sure that there's some type of one-on-one, because especially when it comes to money, we want people to look at our situation and help navigate what we're doing. So pretty incredible. And that's all I've got.
That's awesome. I love this group.
Yeah.
This one's new, so that's why this one's it's still shiny.
Yeah.
But make sure you're heading on over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, and join our investor club. And also we got the swag and all the fun goodness on there. But we're also on LinkedIn and Facebook and all those other social media accounts. But we like to end all of our episodes with
Invest smart.
Live happy.
Bye everybody.
Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on this show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss.